Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing? What's up, Lush? How's it going? Hey, Sal. Nice of you to join. Timer. Oh no. What's up, Wing Chun? How you doing? All right. Sorry for yesterday. My power went out. Man, it was out for a long time. I think it was until like 10 p.m. or something. 10 p.m. at night. Why did I say 10 p.m. at night? Is there a 10 p.m. in the daytime? All right. It's gonna be a quick stream, okay? Because I'm going on vacation tomorrow, and tonight I need to fucking finish a video. Right? I gotta finish writing the script and narrating it. And I gotta pack. What's up, Nikki? How's it going? So I hope you're happy. I hope you're fucking happy. I'm doing this for you. So we gotta do it super quick. Going back to Italy. No, I'm going to Portugal and Spain for 2 weeks. Should be fun. Meaning that for the next 2 weeks, there will be no stream. Okay, so the stream afterwards, after this one, would be February 2nd. February 2nd. Been loving the new vids? Cool. Time to speed read? Hell yeah. I'm gonna read so fast. For your birthday? When is your birthday? Tomorrow? Happy birthday. Hell yeah. Imagine traveling. Couldn't be you. You never travel at all. All right. Oh, you know what's been cool? Because I've been trying to like write the script quickly today. Text to speech is pretty good these days. If you download the right programs. I instead of typing my script, I was narrating. I was talking. And the speech to text was really good. It was barely any mistakes. Mostly like capitalizations, like capitalize like words and stuff. But other than that, there was not that many issues. So I was doing it super fast today. It doesn't punctuate? It does punctuate. It does have punctuation. Yeah. So like I guess it analyzes whether you have a little break in your sentence or something. It'll put in commas and periods. I haven't had it put like exclamation marks yet. But question marks they also put. It's pretty good. Mm-hmm. All right. We are skipping the puzzle games. But we can have a snack, okay? No puzzle games. Why do we need that? What is this? Whoa. All right. Ugh. Smells sweet. Like things I've already had. What's up, Psyduck? How's it going? Oh, what's this? Is that cheese? No, it's not. Some kind of cream, probably. Mmm. Mmm. Oh. It has like little wafer pieces in the cream. I think it's strawberry. Pretty good. Not bad. It's kind of crunchy. Mmm. Mm. Not bad. It's not too sweet. I give it a 7.5. Not bad. Do Wordle? Okay, I'll do Wordle. Should be super fast. I hope. It better be. I better not get stuck on it. Or I'm blaming you, Losh. Everything is above 7. Have I been rating everything above 7? No. Why am I so generous? All right. Let's do it. Okay. Yeah. Maybe Muzak? Muzak? Mucus? No. U? What about UMO? Humor. Human. Human. Humob? Humok. Humog? Humid. Humo? Humok? Humok? Humo? Is it OU? No. Oust. No. U something OM. Buxom. I believe that is the correct. Nope. MU B something O. That makes no sense. U B M O. Dumbo. Gumbo. Yeah. That's right. Spain and Portugal, here I come. Don't know what that means. Wumble? Is the Raccoon Mafia after me? Yeah. You guessed it. All right. Are you ready? Okay. So, what happened last week? I'm gonna speed run this stream, okay? What happened last week? Yang Guo encounters two Taoists who he thinks is going after Xiaolong Nu, okay? And he sneaks into their room and then he pees on their bed and then he breaks their sword. He disguises himself and he goes to watch the Taoist's duel with Xiaolong Nu, okay? And he steals a bull as a disguise too, so he's like a guy with a bull, maybe a bull caretaker. Taoists, the Taoists bring help from the Beggar Clan, okay? So there's 3 Taoists and 2 Beggar Clan members. The girl in white, a girl in white appears on a meal, okay, and Yang Guo is disappointed because it's not Xiaolong Nu. Okay, it's just some random girl, and he watches the fight anyways. And the girl does pretty well at first, okay, but she has a lame leg, okay, and then she can't compete with like 5 people, so she's losing. And Yang Guo, she's the girl's angry expression, and he likes her angry expression, okay. She looks like Xiaolong Nu, so he decides to help her. He charges his bull in and he flicks some pebbles to strike the men's acupoints, okay, and which just messes them up. So the men run away. Yang Guo still pretends to be this slow idiot, okay, and the girl tries to scare him off because she doesn't like him. But her angry expression looks like Xiaolong Nu, so Yang Guo decides to follow her. Okay, he has some issues, some deep issues. I hope he gets through them. Hope he finds a therapist. But she keeps trying to get away, but she just can't lose this Yang Guo guy, okay? Even though she thinks he's just an idiot. So she lets him follow her, but she tries several times she tries to kill him while he sleeps. Only once, I think, or twice. Tries to kill him while he sleeps, He keeps pretending to sleep, but he moves around, so she can't do it. Okay, and he likes making her mad, and he keeps on doing this because he likes to see her angry face. Finally, he strikes her acupoint and immobilizes her. At that time, 3 of the enemies from before they arrive outside, and they threaten them from outside. And Yang Guo unseals her acupoint, okay, and then she leaps out to engage the attackers. All right, how's that? Five men beating a physically challenged girl? Yes, they did. The idiot act is a common theme. He likes to play the idiot. Where is my... All right, you ready? Can I make it bigger? Why are you like that? No. Okay. So she jumps out. Oh, forgot. This is Lu Wushuang, the girl. Okay, the girl is Lu Wushuang, is one of the girl from the beginning, the very beginning. Now we understand what happened to her. She was under the... Oh, I forgot about this. She was under the care of the Scarlet Serpent Fairy lady. Okay, and she's been learning their martial arts, and then she escaped. All right. Chapter 8, Part 2. Without a word, she turned her wrist and thrust at the man on the left. He wielded an iron whip and accurately struck downward at her blade. The whip was heavy and the man strong. With a clang, her saber flew from her hand. Lying sideways on the table, Yang Guo saw Lu Wushuang leap aside and extend her left hand. Good, that Taoist won't keep his sword. Sure enough, she flipped her wrist and used ancient tomb techniques to seize the sword from the Taoist's hand. In the same motion, she chopped downward. A muffled sound followed, and the Taoist took a cut to the shoulder. Cursing, he leapt back to tear his robe and wrap the wound. Lu Wushuang fought the whip-wielding man with her new sword. A short man with a flowery spear thrust from the side, never daring to press too close. The whip man was no weakling. After a dozen exchanges, Lu Wushuang began to tire. Although skilled, he carried himself with a certain dignity. She faltered several times, yet he did not press ruthlessly. You like to imagine I have a soundboard with just 2 buttons? A soundboard. I have more than 2 buttons, like this one. That one's pretty good. Maybe I should use that more. The Taoist finished wrapping his wound and came at her barehanded, shouting, "Little wench of the ancient tomb sect, so vicious!" He lunged at her with swinging fists. A flash of white light, and he took another sword cut to the back. But at that same instant, the short man's spear struck Lu Wushuang's back, and the whip man's iron whip jabbed towards her shoulder. Yang Guo muttered, "Not good," and hurled 2 stones, one knocking aside the spear, the other striking the whip man's right wrist. He's so good with those stones. But that man was formidable, though his right wrist numbed and the whip could not extend. His left palm shot out like lightning. With a thud, it struck Lu Wushuang squarely in the chest. Yang Guo was shocked. Young and inexperienced, he had failed to see the man's left hand skill. He rushed out, grabbed the man by the collar, and flung him away. Damn. He just tossed him. The man flew more than 10 feet before crashing down. Seeing Yongguo's power, the Taoist and the short man quickly lifted their comrade and fled without looking back. That's it? That was the fight? These Taoists are not that good, huh? You want one of the buttons to be Seinfeld music? When Yongguo bent over to look at Lu Wushuang, her face was the color of gold paper, and her breath extremely faint. The injury was no light matter. He placed his left hand on her back to support her as she slowly sat up. 2 soft cracking sounds followed, broken bones grinding together. 2 of her ribs had been shattered by that man's palm. She had already fainted, but when the broken bones shifted, the searing pain jolted her awake, and she let out a low groan. Yongguo said, "What's wrong? Does it hurt a lot?" Lu Wushuang was in such agony she felt like dying and reviving over and over. She gritted her teeth and cursed. "I asked. Of course it hurts. Carry me inside." A little bossy, isn't she? Yongguo lifted her, unavoidably jostling her a little. The broken bones bumped again, sending another wave of unbearable pain through her. She spat. "Good, you ghost of a fool! You're doing this on purpose! Where are those 3 bastards?" She had already fainted when he intervened, so she had no idea he had saved her life. The color of gold paper. That's true. What is the color of gold paper? Why did they say that instead of the color of gold? Might be a mistranslation. Maybe kind of yellow paper. Yongguo smiled. "They thought you were dead," and clapped their hands and left. Lu Wushuang felt slightly relieved and snapped. "What are you laughing at? You stupid fool! Seeing me in pain makes you happy, doesn't it?" Each time she scolded him, Yongguo was reminded of Xiaolongnu's rare moments of rebuke. The years spent with her in the tomb of the living dead were the happiest of his life. Even when she reproached him, knowing her sincerity warmed him. Now, unable to find his master and encountering yet another white-robed girl, his desolation eased a little. In truth, Xiaolongnu was cold by nature. Even her admonishments were soft and faint, nothing like Lu Wushuang's barrage of curses. But in Yongguo's present state, being scolded by a young woman was far better than being scolded by no one at all. He only smiled at her harsh words, ignored them, and set her down on the table. If you had broken bones, you wouldn't be too worried about being nice? I don't know. If you had broken bones, you'd probably be nice to the guy who is taking care of you. As she lay sideways, her broken ribs crackled again. She cried out loudly. The intake of breath. She cried out loudly. The intake of breath tugged at her bones, doubling the pain. She clenched her teeth as cold sweat beaded on her brow. Yongguo said, "Shall I set your broken bones?" Lu Wushuang cursed. "Stinking fool! What do you know about setting bones?" Yongguo said, "My family's mangy dog broke its leg fighting the neighbor's big yellow dog. I set it myself. And Uncle Wang's sow broke a rib. It was me who fixed that, too." Lu Wushuang was furious, but didn't dare shout. In a low, harsh voice, she said, "So I'm a mangy dog and a sow now? You're the mangy dog. You're the sow." Yongguo laughed. If I'm a pig, at least I'm a boar. As for the mangy dog, that one was female. Male dogs don't get mange. Lu Wushuang was sharp-tongued, but every word tugged at her chest, and though she longed to argue, she lacked the strength. She shut her eyes and ignored him. Yongguo said, "After I set that mangy dog's bone, it healed in a few days. It fought other dogs like nothing ever happened." Lu Wushuang thought, Maybe this fool really can set bones, and if no one treats me, I'll surely die. But if he works on my bones, he'll have to touch my chest. What then? If he botches it, I'll die with him. If he succeeds, I won't let anyone who's seen my body live. Scarred by childhood tragedy, having survived only through humiliation and grit, and influenced for years by Li Mo Cho, her thoughts had long grown twisted. At her young age, she was already filled with venom. She murmured, "Fine, but if you trick me, little fool, I won't let you die easily." Young Guo thought, "If I don't tease her now, I'll never get another chance," he said coolly. When Uncle Wang's sow broke its rib, his daughter begged me 1,000 times, called me good brother a full 100 times, before I agreed to set it. Lu Wushuang spat. "Bah! Bah! Bah! Stinking fool! Stinking fool! Ayha!" Another bolt of pain stabbed her chest. Young Guo laughed. "If you won't call me that, forget it. I'll just go home. You rest well." He stood up and headed for the door. Lu Wushuang thought, "If he leaves, I'll die here in agony, for sure," she forced herself to say. "What do you want?" Young Guo said. "Originally, you had to call me good brother 100 times, but you scolded me all the way here, so now it has to be 1,000. Lu Wushuang considered. "Fine. I'll agree to everything for now. Once I recover, I'll deal with him at leisure," she said. "Fine. I'll call you good brother." "Good brother. Good brother. Aya. Aya." Young Guo said, "Good. There are 997 left. I'll put them on your tab, and you can finish once you're well." He can't count, I think. What's going on? He stepped close and reached to undo her clothing. She shrank back involuntarily. "Go away! What are you doing?" Young Guo stepped back. "I can't set bones through clothes. The mangy dog and the old sow didn't wear any." Lu Wushuang almost laughed, but letting him undress her still felt unbearably shameful. After a long hesitation, she lowered her head and said, "All right, I can't argue with you." Young Guo said, "If you don't want treatment, then don't. I don't care." Just then a voice outside said, "That little wench must be somewhere within 20 li. Hurry and search." At the sound, Lu Wushuang turned deathly pale. Oh, that was Li Mo Cho. Whoops. Forgetting her pain, she slapped a hand over Young Guo's mouth. The voice belonged to Li Mo Cho. He's trying to save us from 3 pages of good brother. Thank God. Young Guo recognized it as well and was startled. Another woman's voice said, "The crooked saber in that beggar's shoulder was clearly Junior Sister's silver crescent blade. What a pity we couldn't pull it out to check." It was Hong Ling Bo. The two had barely escaped alive from the tomb of the living dead. Returning to Qixia Manor, they discovered that Lu Wushuang had fled. Fine, but she had also stolen a copy of the 5 Venoms secret manual. Li Mo Cho's fearsome reputation came not only from her martial arts, but from the deadly poisons of her 5 poison palm and soul-freezing silver needles. The manual detailed the toxins and antidotes for both. If leaked, the Scarlet Serpent Fairy would be like a serpent with its fangs pulled. Li Mo Cho knew the contents by heart, so she kept the book hidden at the manor. Yet Lu Wushuang, ever observant, had learned the hiding place. Once resolved to escape, she took the book along. Li Mo Cho's fury was beyond measure. She and Hong Ling Bo pursued day and night, but Lu Wushuang had too much of a head start and had taken remote paths. They circled north to south and south to north several times without finding her trail. That night, by coincidence, a lot of coincidences where people meet each other, huh? As they neared Tong Pass, they overheard Beggar Clan disciples spreading word of a western branch gathering. Knowing the clan's eyes and ears were everywhere, Li Mocho guessed someone might have seen Lu Wushuang, so she and her disciple rushed to eavesdrop. On the way, they encountered a 5-pouch disciple being carried by another beggar, with 17 or 18 others guarding him. A crooked blade was lodged in his shoulder. It was Lu Wushuang's silver crescent blade. Li Mocho slipped aside to listen and heard fragments of angry complaints. A lame girl had thrown the blade that struck him. Overjoyed, she thought, if he was wounded only recently, she must be near. She hurried to track the trail, arriving at the ruined house. She found a burnt fire outside and a faint scent of blood. She lit a torch, saw fresh blood stains, and knew a fight had just taken place. Tugging Hong Lingbo's sleeve, she pointed at the house. Hong Lingbo nodded, pushed open the door, and rushed in with her sword raised. Hearing her master and senior sister outside, Lu Wushuang lost all hope. She steeled herself and lay still, waiting for death. The door creaked softly, and a pale yellow shadow flashed in. It was Hong Lingbo. Hong Lingbo bore genuine affection for her junior, knowing her master would surely use every cruel means to torture her before killing her. Hong Lingbo raised her sword and thrust toward Lu Wushuang's heart, intending to spare her a slow, agonizing death. Just as the sword tip was about to touch Lu Wushuang's chest, Li Mocho struck Hong Lingbo's shoulder. Hong Lingbo's arm went limp and dropped at once. Li Mocho said with a cold laugh, "Do you think I don't know how to kill? Why are you rushing?" She said to Lu Wushuang, "Seeing your master, you won't even bow?" Though furious, she still spoke with her usual elegance. Lu Wushuang thought, now that I've fallen into her hands, begging or resisting won't matter. She'll torture me no matter what. She said quietly, "There's a blood feud between you and my family. There's nothing to say." Li Mocho gazed at her in silence, her eyes unreadable. Joy or sorrow, who could tell? Hong Lingbo's face was full of pity. Lu Wushuang's upper lip curled, her expression proud instead of terrified. The three stared at each other for a long time before Li Mocho finally said, "Where's the book? Hand it over." Lu Wushuang said, "It was stolen by a wicked Taoist and a filthy beggar." Li Mocho was startled. She bore no grudge against the beggar clan, but she had deep enmity with the Chen sect. The beggar clan and Chen were closely linked. If the Five Venoms secret manual had fallen into their hands, it would be disastrous. Lu Wushuang vaguely saw her master give a faint smile, clearly plotting something venomous. During her flight, she had feared nothing more than her master catching up. Now that Li Mocho truly appeared, she felt less frightened than before. Suddenly, she thought, "Where's that fool?" On the brink of death, she unexpectedly felt a strange warmth when she remembered that dirty, dull-witted cowherd. She's falling for him. At that moment, firelight flashed and hooves thundered. The two women turned. A massive bull charged into the door. Its right horn was tied with a single saber, its left with burning firewood. The beast stormed inside with fierce momentum. Li Mocho slipped aside instantly. The bull circled the room once, then bolted back out. It came and went in a mad rush, disappearing several yards away in moments. Li Mocho stared after it, first puzzled, then suddenly thinking, who tied the knife and firewood to its horns? She turned back. Both master and disciple cried out at once. Lu Wushuang, who had been lying on the table, was gone. Bum bum bum. Hong Lingbo searched around the ruin, then leapt onto the roof. Li Mocho was certain the bull was the ploy, and immediately gave chase. In the darkness, she saw the glow of the burning firewood entering a grove of trees. In the flickering light, she saw no one on the bull's back. Clearly, Lu Wushuang had not escaped on it. Then she thought, of course, someone outside must be helping her. They drove this strange bull in to distract me and rescued her in the confusion. But for the moment, she couldn't tell which direction to pursue. She sped up, quickly overtook the bull, leapt onto its back, found nothing, jumped down again, and kicked its flank. She whistled softly, a signal to Hong Ling Bo, and the two split directions, one from north to south, the other from west to east. The bull, of course, had been driven in by young Guo. Hearing Li Mocho and her disciple, he had slipped out the back door and listened at the window. From a single sentence, he knew she meant to kill Lu Wushuang. An idea struck him. He ran to the bull, picked up Lu Wushuang's dropped saber, gathered some dry wood, tied both to the bull's horns, lit the firewood, then clung beneath the bull's belly, urging it into the house. He grabbed Lu Wushuang in one swift motion and hid beneath the bull as it rushed back out. His movements were fast, and the bull's strange appearance drew all attention. Even Li Mocho, sharp as she was, failed to spot the trick. By the time she caught up with the bull, young Guo had already carried Lu Wushuang into the tall grass to hide. So good. From all the jolting, Lu Wushuang felt as if she were dying again and again. True. She had no idea how young Guo had saved her, how he had ridden her under the beast, or how they had leapt on into the grass. Only after a long while did her senses return, and she cried out softly. Young Guo quickly covered her mouth and whispered in her ear, "Don't make a sound." Footsteps approached. Hong Lingbo said, "Huh? How did she disappear so fast?" Farther away, Li Mocho said, "Let's go. The little wench must have gotten far." Hong Lingbo's footsteps faded. Lu Wushuang was stifled with pain and frustration and was about to cry out again, but young Guo still held her mouth firmly shut. Lu Wushuang struggled lightly and realized she was being held in his arms. Embarrassed and anxious, she was about to strike him when young Guo whispered at her ear, "Don't fall for it. Your master is tricking you." The words had barely left his lips when Li Mocho's voice came. "She really isn't here." Her tone sounded extremely close, almost beside them. Lu Wushuang's heart lurched. "If not for the fool's quick thought, I'd be dead by now." Li Mocho had suspected she was hiding nearby. Though she said, "Let's go," she had in fact circled back silently with her lightness skill. Lu Wushuang had nearly stepped into the trap. Young Guo listened carefully. This time the master and disciple truly left. He released her mouth and whispered, "All right, don't be scared." Lu Wushuang said, "Let me go." Young Guo gently laid her on the grass. "I'll set your bones now. We must leave quickly. Once it's light, we won't get away." Lu Wushuang nodded. Fearing she might cry out during the procedure and alert their pursuers, young Guo tapped her numbing acupoint, then began unfastening her clothes. "Don't make a sound." Uh-oh. This is a familiar scene. Oh no. All right. Time for a 5-minute break. I'll be right back. And we're back. That was a nice song. Okay. He opened her outer garment, revealing a pale moon underlayer, and beneath it a yellow silk doudou. Should we look that up? Is it that one undergarment? No, 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 no. Okay, well, I'm looking it up, but I can't show you. Kind of risque. I do have a. hmm. I do have this. I can show you this. I need to do something first. Blue, 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 blue. All right. Hmm. Hmm. There you go. This is a doodle. That's what she's wearing. All right. Young Guo did not dare go further. He lifted his eyes. Lu Wushuang's brows were tightly drawn, her eyes squeezed shut, her face full of fear and shyness, entirely unlike her usual fierceness. The fragrance of a young maiden's body drifted toward him. His heart pounded uncontrollably. Lu Wushuang opened her eyes and whispered, "Just treat me." She shut them again and turned her head aside. Young Guo's hands trembled as he loosened her doodle. Her skin was like fresh cream. He dared not touch her. Lu Wushuang waited, feeling the cold air on her bare chest. She turned and opened her eyes to find him staring in a daze. You, what are you looking at? She snapped. Startled, Young Guo reached to feel her ribs. The instant he touched her smooth skin, he felt a jolt, as though scorched, and he pulled back at once. Lu Wushuang said, "Close your eyes. If you look again, I. Tears spilled down her cheeks. Young Guo said quickly, Yes, I won't look. Don't cry." He shut his eyes, located the two broken ribs, aligned them carefully, then pulled her doodle back into place to cover her chest. Steadier now, he broke 4 twigs, 2 placed on her chest, 2 on her back, and bound them tight with bark to prevent the bones from shifting. He fastened her inner and outer garments and released her acupoint. Lu Wushuang opened her eyes. Moonlight shone on Young Guo's face, his cheeks flushed, his expression embarrassed. He was sneaking a look at her. When their eyes met, he turned away at once. Her pain was still sharp, but now that the bones were set, it was far easier to bear. This fool actually has some skill, she thought. She now understood clearly he was no ordinary person, and certainly no fool. But having mocked him from the start, she couldn't bring herself to change her tone. She asked, "Fool, what do you think? Should we stay here or hide farther away?" Young Guo said, "What do you think?" "Of course we go. Stay here and wait for death?" "Where to?" "I'm going back to Jiangnan. Will you take me?" Oh, I like how the AI stopped putting the dialogue tags. No, it's just putting the actual quotations. Young Guo said, I must search for my auntie. I can't go that far." Oh, she thinks he's saying like an actual auntie. At that, her face hardened. Fine then. Go. Leave me here to die. If she had pleaded gently, Young Guo would surely have refused. But seeing the anger in her eyes, the frost in her brows, so like Xiaolong knew when displeased, he found himself unable to say no. Perhaps Auntie has gone to Jiangnan, he thought. If I escort Miss Lu, heaven may pity me and guide me to Auntie. He knew it was unlikely, but he could not bring himself to refuse her. With a sigh, he bent down and lifted her into his arms. Lu Wushuang snapped. Why are you holding me? Young Guo laughed. To carry you to Jiangnan, of course. Lu Wushuang was overjoyed. She let out a giggle. Idiot! Jiangnan is so far away. You think you can carry me all the way there? Though she said so, she lay quietly in his arms and did not move at all. By now, the big ox had long run off. Afraid of running into Li Mocho and her disciple, Young Guo kept to the most deserted paths. His feet flew swiftly, yet his upper body stayed steady, never jostling Lu Wushuang's wounds. Seeing the trees race past, she realized he was moving even faster than she could run on her own. His lightness skill was no worse than her master's. She marveled silently. So, this idiot has extraordinary skills. How did he master such kung fu at his age? Before long, the east began to grow pale. She lifted her head and saw that, although dirt smudged his face, his features were refined, and his eyes bright and lively. Something stirred in her chest. The pain eased, and after a while, she drifted into a deep sleep. When daylight fully broke, Young Guo had grown tired. He ran beneath a large tree, gently set her down, and sat beside her to rest. Lu Wushuang opened her eyes, gave a faint smile, and said, I'm hungry. Aren't you? Young Guo said, Of course I am. All right, let's find a restaurant. He stood, lifted her again, but after holding her all night, his arms were sore and numb. So he raised her up to sit on his shoulders and walked on at a steady pace. Lu Wushuang lightly tapped her feet against his chest. Idiot. What's your name anyway? I can't keep calling you idiot in front of people. Young Guo said, I don't have a name. Everyone calls me idiot. Lu Wushuang huffed. Fine, don't tell me. Then who's your master? Hearing the word master, Young Guo grew solemn. He deeply respected Xiaolong Nu and would never joke about her. My master is my auntie. Lu Wushuang believed him. So his skills come from his family, she thought. Which family or sect does your auntie belong to? Young Guo said blankly, She lives at home. I don't know anything about sects. Lu Wushuang scolded. Don't play dumb. I'm asking which school's martial arts you learned. Young Guo said, You mean our front door? Why say it's made of paper? It's clearly wood. Lu Wushuang pondered. Could he really be a fool? His martial arts are good, but his mind is dull. She softened her voice. Idiot, tell me properly. Why did you save my life? Young Guo hesitated, thinking a moment. My auntie told me to save you, so I saved you. Who is your auntie? Auntie is auntie. Whatever she tells me to do, I do. Lu Wushuang sighed. So he really is simple-minded. She had begun to feel a little tenderness toward him, but now irritation rose again. When she fell silent, Young Guo asked, Why aren't you talking? Lu Wushuang snorted. He asked again. She snapped, If I don't want to talk, then I won't. Idiot, keep your mouth shut. Young Guo knew her face must look quite pretty just then, but with her sitting on his shoulders, he couldn't see it. He couldn't help feeling it was a pity. Before long, they reached a small market town. Young Guo found an inn and ordered food. The two sat facing each other. Smelling the cow dung on him, Lu Wushuang frowned. Idiot! Sit over there. Don't share a table with me. Young Guo smiled and moved to another table, but seeing him still facing her, annoyance welled up again. The more she looked, the more his idiocy irked her. Don't look at me. She pointed to a distant table. Sit over there. What? He just saved you. Yang Guo grinned, took his rice bowl, and sat on the threshold to eat. Lu Wushuang said, That's better. She was hungry, but the stabbing pain in her chest made swallowing difficult. Everything felt wrong today. She wanted to take out her frustration on Yang Guo, but now he was too far away to scold. I mean, how far away can he be? She can scold him. Just as she fretted, she suddenly heard someone outside the door chanting loudly. Kind little maiden, do a good deed. Another voice followed. Share a bowl of food with a poor beggar. Lu Wushuang looked up. 4 beggars stood in a straight line outside the door, all staring at her. Their intentions were clearly unfriendly, and her heart tightened. Then the 3rd beggar sang. What? There's a road to heaven, yet you won't take it. And the 4th sang. No gate to hell, yet you force your way in. Their tune was the beggar's usual Lotus Fall chant. Each held a chipped bowl in his right hand, a branch in his left, and bore 4 burlap sacks over his shoulder. Lu Wushuang had heard her senior sisters speak of this. Members of the beggar clan were ranked by the number of sacks they carried. These 4 each had 4 sacks, 4-sack disciples. The 2 she had fought yesterday in Wolf Valley had each carried 5 sacks, a rank higher than these. If she were uninjured, she would not fear these 4, but even lifting her chopsticks now took effort. As for Idiot, his lightness skill was remarkable. But with his muddled manner, how could his martial arts possibly be high? She felt utterly at a loss. Yang Guo kept eating, as though he hadn't seen the 4 beggars at all. After finishing a bowl, he walked to the rice tub, filled another full bowl, reached toward the dishes before Lu Wushuang, grabbed a fish, and splashed broth all over the table. Grinning foolishly, he said, I'm eating fish. Okay. Lu Wushuang's delicate brows tightened, but she had no time to scold him. The 4 beggars again chanted the same 4 lines of Little Maiden, repeating them 3 times while all 8 eyes glared at her. She didn't know how to respond, so she kept quietly picking at her rice as if she hadn't heard a thing, though anxiety churned within her. One beggar finally spoke loudly. Little girl, since you won't spare a single bowl of rice, then lend us a curved saber instead. Another said, Come with us. We won't harm you. Once we sort out right and wrong, justice will be served. After a moment, the 3rd said, Come along, must we use force? Lu Wushuang could neither answer nor ignore them, not knowing what to do. The 4th beggar said, We can't bully a young girl. 4 grown men against 1, lest heroes of the Jianghu laugh at us. We only want you to judge a matter. Everyone is in a clan or a sect. Yep. If you know martial arts, you're probably in a clan or a sect. Hearing their tones, she knew they would strike at any moment. Though she knew she could not win, she would not sit and wait for death. She placed her left hand on the bench, ready to thrust it forward to fend them off once they advanced. She'd give them food if they could actually sing. Hey! Yang Guo thought, Time to act. He walked to her table, picked up a bowl of hot soup, a big chunk of fish clamped in his teeth. Muffled, he said, I'm gonna dip it in soup. He tilted the bowl and spilled half the hot soup onto her right arm. She was seated facing east, her right arm on the inner side. The moment the soup splashed down, she shrank back and turned to look. Yang Guo cried out, Oh no! and clumsily reached out to wipe her arm. At that instant, his left hand flicked outward, sending 4 bamboo chopsticks shooting toward the 4 beggars. Oh, if they could sing, not me. Well, okay, I thought you were making fun of my singing because I was singing their lines. Wise guy. The chopsticks flew so swiftly the beggars didn't even see them. They only felt a sharp sting at the inside of their elbows, followed by 4 crisp cracks as their bowls fell to the stone floor and shattered. Yang Guo pulled at his ragged sleeve, wiping at Lu Wushuang's arm repeatedly. Don't be mad. I'll clean it up for you. Lu Wushuang scolded. Stop messing around. She turned and froze in astonishment. The 4 beggars' backs were already disappearing around the corner of the street. On the ground lay only shards of their broken bowls. Lu Wushuang was baffled. Those 4 were strange indeed. Why did they suddenly run off for no reason? Seeing Yang Guo's hands covered in fish broth and grease as he smeared the table, she snapped, Get away! Aren't you afraid of filth? Yes, and wiped his hands hard on his clothes. I hate that. I hate grease. Lu Wushuang frowned. Why did those 4 beggars leave? Yang Guo said, They saw the young ladies too stingy to give alms. Asking again would be useless, so they left. Lu Wushuang hesitated, unable to make sense of any of it. She took out some silver and sent Yang Guo to buy a donkey. As you do. After paying the bill, she mounted it, but the moment she settled into the saddle, a sharp pain shot through her fractured bone. She couldn't stifle a groan. Well, guess he has to carry her some more. No? Yang Guo said, Too bad I'm filthy and smelly, otherwise I could help support you. Lu Wushuang said, All you do is talk nonsense. She flicked the rope. The donkey, stubborn by nature, squeezed against the wall, scraping her against it. Weak in both hands and feet, she cried out and fell. You can't ride a donkey or a horse or anything with a broken rib, right? It would hurt so much. Weak in both hands and feet, she cried out and fell. Her right foot landed firmly, but the movement tugged at her wound, sending pain lancing through her. You saw me fall and didn't help me up. Yang Guo said, I'm dirty. Lu Wushuang snapped, Can't you wash? Yang Guo only gave a few foolish laughs and said nothing. She said, Help me back onto the donkey. Yang Guo obeyed and lifted her up again. The donkey, feeling a rider on its back, immediately began acting up. Lu Wushuang said, Lead the donkey, quickly. Lead the donkey, quickly. Yang Guo said, No, I'm scared it'll kick me. If only my old ox were here. Lu Wushuang fumed. This idiot! Call him not stupid, and he acts stupid. Call him stupid, and he isn't. He clearly just wants to hold me. With no choice, she said, Fine, then get on the donkey too. Yang Guo said, You said it. Don't complain later about me being dirty or scold or hit me. Lu Wushuang said, Yes. Why chatter so much? Only then did Yang Guo smile and mount behind her. Wording! He wrapped his arms around her, squeezed lightly with his legs, and the donkey, feeling the sudden pain along its belly, dared not misbehave and trudged along obediently. Yang Guo asked, Which way? Lu Wushuang had already inquired about the roads. She had planned to head east past Tong Pass, then through Zhongzhou before turning south, a main route. But after seeing the 4 beggar clan disciples, she reasoned that more would surely be waiting ahead. Better to take the lesser paths, through Bamboo Grove Pass, past Longju Village, than through Jijing Pass and down south. It was farther, but much safer, and harder for her master to track. After a moment's thought, she pointed southeast. That way. The donkey's hooves clopped softly. As soon as they left the market, a farm boy ran up, calling, Miss Lu, something for you. He tossed her a bundle of flowers, then turned and fled. What? Lu Wushuang caught it. It was a bunch of rapeseed blossoms with a letter tied to the stems. She tore it open and found a sheet of yellow paper. On it were the words, Your master will be upon you at once. Hide quickly. Do not delay. The paper was coarse, but the handwriting was graceful. Lu Wushuang gasped softly. Who is this boy? How does he know my surname is Lu? How does he know my master is coming? She asked young Guo. Do you know that boy? Was he sent by your auntie? Young Guo had already seen the writing behind her head. He's just an ordinary farm child. Clearly delivering a message for someone, but who wrote it? It seems well meant, but if Li Mocho really catches up, what then? Though he had learned both the Jade Maiden Heart Sutra and the 9 Yin Manual, his days of training were far too few. His understanding was deep, but his strength insufficient. If faced with Li Mocho, he absolutely could not win, and in broad daylight there was nowhere to hide. Rapeseed is such a wild name. Yeah. Rapeseed? As he pondered helplessly and heard her question, he said, I don't know that little fool. Doesn't look like someone my auntie sent. He had spoken only 2 sentences when the sound of pipes and drums rose ahead. A bridal sedan chair approached, surrounded by several dozen people. It was a country wedding procession, rough village music, yet full of bright, infectious joy. Young Guo's heart stirred. Do you want to be a bride? He asked. No. Wait, why is there a blank page? All right. How do you guys like that? So rapeseed is like canola, I say. Maybe the name came from like another language. All right. That's pretty cool. Adventures of Yang Guo and Lu Wushuang. Yeah, I feel like he's gonna have a harem. All the girls that he meets are gonna fall for him. Yeah, I guess the idiot act really works. All right, guys. Thanks for coming. So, reminder, I'll be on vacation tomorrow for 2 weeks. I'll be in Portugal and Spain. So our next stream would be February 2nd. February 2nd. You like this chemistry? Yep. I like their biology too. All right, Wing Chun, thanks. You like spamming hearts? Cool. All right, guys. I gotta finish the next video tonight and then pack a gun. All right, guys. Thanks for coming. I love you. I'll see you next time. Bye.